Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's Lux, and today we're going to be talking about the Odyssey. Now, the Odyssey, oh my god, I've been waiting for about a month. When I got my first ticket, I had to pre-order for that one just to make sure that I get my seat going. So initially, here in San Antonio, we have I think two IMAXs, one in the Palladium and one downtown. Unfortunately, the one downtown wasn't working. There was some sort of drama going behind it. They weren't sure if they were gonna play it or anything like that. Dude, I got these tickets a month ago. I made sure to take some days off of work. I was so ready for this movie to come out. And yeah, so once I was able to secure my ticket to the Odyssey at the Palladium, all I had to do was wait one more month in order for it to come out. And man, that month went really fast. By the time I knew it, it was already time to go watch the movie, and I was super excited. But here's the thing: right before the movie started, San Antonio had like a massive weather emergency. All of a sudden it was raining and all this thunderstorms happening, and it was just crazy out here, dude. Eventually, what ended up happening on the freaking day before the actual release was a stupid tornado actually hit the Palladium, which was insane. Because it was dude, I did all this planning and scheduling for now. All of a sudden, there's a freaking weather emergency going on and a stupid tornado. By the way, when is there a tornado anytime in San Antonio? That was the first time I got to see something stupid like that. Yeah, it ended up destroying the front of the freaking movie theater. So I just was only left to assume that they were gonna cancel the stupid movie. Fortunately enough, the next day they announced on their social medias that they were gonna be opening the doors, which is super exciting for me. Yeah, I thought I was gonna have to kind of deal with that and just not be able to watch the freaking movie. And then come to find out, the IMAX in downtown ended up freaking busting, or something ended up happening to it that unfortunately they weren't able to finish the movie at all. So a lot of stuff ended up happening, with this whole Odyssey movie, but. Eventually, the next day came around, and they ended up opening up, and the weather wasn't as bad. I was able to make it over there pretty safely. There is so much that happened behind this movie that once I got to see it, I was just super excited to really enjoy it. I also want to say this was my first 70mm experience in IMAX, and man, that was awesome. I really, really enjoyed it. I thought the format was really cool. The thing I will say about watching something in 70mm is that a lot of artifacts were going on in the screen, some sort of glares also within the movie. I don't know if that was also happening in other theaters, but in the one that I was at, there was some weird flickering when there was outside scenes happening. Which I didn't really enjoy. Yeah, so there was definitely some slight little things that were kind of taking me out of it, but I mean it is running through a film, so I have to kind of understand that. But the format was amazing. It captured everything. Everything looked monumental. Everything felt like it should have felt, especially whenever they fought the monsters and stuff like that. Once we got to see giant objects in the screen, you really got to see how beneficial it is to use that format, especially if you want to capture grandiose things in front of the camera. I really thought that was awesome. Again, hats off to Christopher Nolan. Of course, you don't expect anything less from a master director like that. So let's finally get into the review of the movie. So it's been a couple days since the movie came out, so hopefully you guys were able to go catch it. If not, make sure you go watch that, because I'm definitely gonna get into spoilers. I'm gonna mix it in here and there. So right off the bat, I gotta say that I really enjoyed this movie. I thought this movie was fantastic. It was really the spectacle that I thought it was going to be. I really loved everybody's performances. You could tell that everybody was really, really a veteran in it, especially highlights like Matt Damon, who I think had the best performance of his career in my opinion. Anne Hathaway as well did a fantastic job. By the way, Tom Holland coming out of nowhere. I didn't think he was gonna have such a big role into it. His character was really prevalent throughout the movie, but he did a fantastic job as too. I didn't see Spider-Man on the screen. I saw the character, which was really, really cool to see. It really shows the depth of his acting abilities at this point. Also, another notable performance that I really enjoyed and didn't expect was the right hand to Odysseus, Amesh Patel, dude. He was awesome, dude. Wow. I did not, really expect that. Again, a lot of people who was supporting characters of this movie really flourished in it. Especially, I think it was super beneficial that a lot of these supporting characters were veterans in the industry. So I can see why Nolan wanted to kind of use them. I mean, he kind of has to flex his power anyways. Why not use the best of the best. Speaking of performances, I think one of my kind of least favorite performances was surprisingly Robert Pattinson's character. I just didn't really enjoy the snarkiness of his character. Almost I didn't really like it. I guess maybe because it wasn't as serious as I would think, or maybe there was something off with Robert Pattinson playing him, but I didn't really enjoy it. Wasn't bad. Again, he's a good actor. It's just the fact that it just wasn't connecting with me properly. Although I do like one of the scenes when he tries to kind of convince Penelope into kind of marrying him. So I did enjoy that part. See, that was the level of depth that showed me, okay, this emotional capability of this character without it just being overall this snarky asshole, you know. He was kind of my least favorite character. I think another notable performance was from the blind character. Like, man, I thought he was cool, you know, even at the end when he lost faith that Odysseus was coming and he was already at his old age and stuff like that. Like, you know, I really love the depth that character kind of had as well and the way he played it. I thought it was pretty cool, you know. And for all the hate that Elliot Page has been receiving or whatever, I think that they did a really good job. I really think that they had like a really pivotal scene, especially when Odysseus goes to that place of sacrifice. I think they did a great job, you know. I want to kind of get into the set design as well. I think this movie was so beautiful. I think the locations and everything was very precise. I think the elements of the monsters being involved in the environments were perfect for them because it was able to showcase like how massive these characters were. For example, the big scene of the Cyclops, like wow, what a freaking amazing sequence right there. Yeah, and they used the freaking practical prop that was 60 foot in order to play the Cyclops. Obviously, they put some CGI in there or whatever. But man, that's super awesome. I couldn't imagine something so towering in front of you. The way they made it look, the thing that they did in there, like it was cool. And you got to see like Odysseus' mindset, the way he thinks. I think throughout this entire movie was kind of showing you what kind of leader Odysseus is, you know. Someone who is brave enough to go forward, you know. Another favorite scene was definitely when they met the sirens. I really liked that. I thought the scenery was awesome, and I think what they were going through and kind of the dialogue that was happening through that sequence was beautiful. It really showcased a lot of the characters there, especially Odysseus and how he was tied to the freaking boat, trying to hear and screaming. Like, again, I feel like this was Matt Damon's, you know, best performance. You know, he might win an award. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there, but I think that was one of my favorite scenes as well, too. I was surprised at the sequencing through the movie. Like, I didn't expect it to be through memories. I thought it was kind of gonna be from point A to point B, but it was like really sequenced through like vignettes. I thought that was cool. It was a little confusing at first. Once you got an understanding of what was going on, it was pretty much okay. You know, it was just you were seeing. Oh, it was kind of okay. I kind of understand. It's kind of like there's stories being told about Odysseus from other people, kind of how we are today. You know, reading stories about who Odysseus was or could have been, you know. So I guess maybe that's an interesting way to kind of look at that if you really want to. But yeah, another notable thing that I really enjoyed was whenever Odysseus kind of plucked his bow and then the freaking music started. I thought that was so cool. It was so like purposeful. Although I enjoyed a lot of the movie, there was some gripes that I have with it. For example, whenever Odysseus goes and tries to save his men from turning into like these animals, I just felt that it was kind of really easy for him to kind of convince the woman into, you know, turning them back. I feel like there was no struggle in that. You know, he kind of just went in there and said, hey, come on. Can you just turn my men back? We're just trying to go home or whatever. We're cool. We're chill people, you know? I just feel like it was just super easy. It kind of was like, okay, we just went there for the visuals of it or what? Because she was like, well, by Zeus, I will let you free or whatever. But I was just like, come on, like there was no really much of a hassle there. Sometimes I wish there was more time within the scenes to develop a little bit more. Although I understand that we're already running a 3-hour movie. I just felt like they could have spent more time developing those scenes. I just felt like they were kind of in and out of a lot of it. You know, going from the Cyclops to the Giants to the Sirens. Although there were some vignettes that were more stronger than others. For example, whenever they go into the witch house, they could have like definitely, I don't know, made it more of a struggle at least. Come on. I mean, look at the siren scene versus the witch scene. Like you can see the amount of struggle between the both of them. Like if we could just throw Odysseus into just straight agony, it could show more of his like braverness or more of his. It could just show more of his strength. You know, that's what I would like. Although I will say by the end of it that you really got to see an emotional side, a more older Odysseus. That's what I really liked about it. Is that, you know, by the end he was kind of already saying these short poems that almost felt like very precise how the dialogue was being delivered, especially the sequence on the sirens. You know, the last piece of dialogue he said, I don't remember it off the bat, or even whenever he's talking to Penelope at the end as well. Like you really got to see the emotional sides of Odysseus, and it wasn't just this guy who was like this warrior just freaking running through point A to point B. It was really an emotional journey as well. That's why I gotta say, and I'll reiterate this, I think this is Matt Damon's best performance when it comes to physicality, when it comes to the emotions, when it comes to delivering dialogue, when it comes to showing expression. He kind of hit all those things around. I really think he did an amazing job, even though he had a lot of plot armor. You know, overall I gotta say the Odyssey is a must watch, and if you can, go watch it in 70mm. It was a fantastic viewing. Just the aspect ratio and the amount you could fit on that IMAX film, like, it was super awesome. It was an experience. Everybody go watch this. I still think Obsession is my movie of the year, my personal movie of the year. This is going on record already, but the Odyssey, it was really good. I recommend it. Obviously it's a Nolan movie. Go watch it. This movie really hit it out the park. And I'm going to be giving this movie, I think, an 8.7 out of 10. I do recommend everybody to go check it out. So let me know what you thought in the comments down below. But with that being said, I hope you guys have a good one. Peace.